Okay. Welcome everybody to the call. Welcome to the call. My name is Amma Nantwi. It is such an honor to be the host of the call this evening. We have some really good information for you guys tonight. But before we get started, I just want to explain a little bit about who I am, right? So my name is Amma Nantwi, and I'm born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. My mom is actually a retired educator from the Chicago public school system. She literally worked there her whole life. She was a teacher, a principal, all that good stuff, right? And she did that until she retired. My dad is a retired IRS agent. Okay, so I always like to say I have the best of both worlds, right? I love giving back and providing service and educating people, right? I get that from my mom, but then at the same time, I love numbers and just everything being perfect. I get that from my dad. You know, one of the things that I love about numbers is that numbers don't lie, right? So it's no gray area. It's like it's black or white, it's right or it's wrong. That's it. So I'm a certified public accountant. And for anybody that is not aware, that is the highest level of accountancy that you can achieve. When I took the exam, it was 2 days, 16 and a half hours, right? Very, very brutal. It's actually the equivalent to the law exam for lawyers, right? So if you're an accountant, you take the CPA exam, or you're a regular accountant, or you're a certified public accountant, right? So I'm a certified public accountant, and that's me. So a little bit about myself. Now, I know the people that invited you to the call, or maybe you saw different posts and you're kind of like, what is income shifting? What are the rules of the wealthy? What are they talking about? How can I make my life better? Right? So I definitely want to applaud you all for getting on the line. If you're on the Facebook Live with me, I applaud you for doing that as well, because so many people are drowning financially, or even if they aren't drowning, they just they think they're okay, right? They're like, what's the big deal? And maybe they were too busy or whatever. I was joking with one of my mentors earlier, and I was saying, I don't even know what people think it is. Like, I have so many family members that won't even answer the phone. But that's okay, because I'll keep calling, because it's really helping people and changing lives all over the country. And I just feel that it's my duty to at least help the immediate people around me, right? Like, that's crazy for me to go out and help all these strangers. And, my cousin is almost homeless, right? Just an example, my cousin is not almost homeless, not that I know of, right? So what I want to get started is just saying, so in America, right, it's crazy. We really have like thank you guys so much for the shares on the Facebook Live. Thank you. I appreciate that. So in America, it's really a tale of two different countries, right? And I actually learned this from my $600 million mentor that I mentioned in my Facebook post and Instagram post. So America is like the tale of two completely different countries, right? If you think about it. So the first America is the one that's on TV. It's the one that people love. It's the one that people from other countries want to move here. People like my dad. I didn't say my dad is born and raised in Ghana, right? So I'm Ghanaian. My dad was over there his entire life. Hey, Lativia. Hey, Facebook Live. So he was over there his entire life, right? But he came over here to make a better way, like a lot of people do, because this is the America that's on TV. This is the America that people know. America makes up 25%, okay, 25% of the wealth of the world. No other country even comes close. Now, some people may say like, oh, places like Dubai is rich and stuff like that. And Dubai is really for tourists, okay? The average income in America is $50,000. They don't make that, nowhere near that in Dubai. When you go into the regular everyday people that live there, they don't make anywhere near that, okay? America is the home of 540 billionaires, and that's billion with a B, ladies and gentlemen, and over 10 million millionaires. So it's like, that's huge. That's the America that everybody knows on TV. That's the America, that's the American dream. That's why everybody loves it here and why everybody wants to move here, right? But then on the other side, 80% of Americans are struggling financially. Okay, and I don't care what anybody wants to say. It's not a race thing. It's not a black thing. It's not a Hispanic thing, because like I said, numbers don't lie. 80% is not a minority. Okay, 69% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Again, 69% is not a minority. This is really a problem that we have here in America, and for whatever reason, nobody is really addressing it. People want to ignore it. Right, so if you ask yourself, why isn't the wealth of America trickling down, right? Why do we have 540 billionaires and some people are still living paycheck to paycheck? Okay, it's because we weren't taught the habits of the wealthy, right? The wealthy people were taught these habits, but some of the regular people were not. Hey, on Facebook Live, right? The wealthy people were not taught the wealthy people were taught the rules of the wealthy, and the regular people just were not. So we stay impoverished, right? So everybody has two objectives in life, and this is part of the problem too, right? First of all, everybody needs money for today. And this is why we all go to work. This is why we wake up and we go to work every day. And we have bills to pay. We have rent, mortgage, car note, et cetera, right? But then our second objective is we need money for tomorrow, which is we need money for our retirement. And for whatever reason, a lot of Americans ignore objective number two. A lot of people ignore this. They don't want to deal with money. I get it, money is scary, and you just kind of hope that things get better, right? You're like, one day it's, I don't know what's going to happen. That's people's retirement plan. I can't tell you guys how many times people tell me that, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to hit the lottery or something. And it's like, okay, if that's your plan, go for it, right? So that's the problem. Now, we had two major entities that try to fix the issue of retirement. That's the whole thing. People don't have enough money to put into their retirement. If you are struggling so much day to day, right, how can you have enough money to put into retirement? You just don't have it, right? You're worried about how can you get everything paid for right now. And just a sidebar, a lot of people don't realize you really need 10 to 20 times of what you are making now in assets that are generating income. So that's a huge number. You know, if you're making $50,000, then you need like over $500,000 or $1 million in the bank generating assets, just so you can live off of the interest, right? Because that's what we want to do. So the two large entities that try to fix this issue of saving up for retirement for us is, number one, the government, right? The good old government, they tried to fix it. They came up with Social Security. They said, we're going to take a little bit of money out of everybody's paycheck. When they start working, we'll put it over here, we'll invest it for them, and then once they retire, we can pay them their money out and everything will be perfect, right? So did that work? No. Right? We all know that didn't work. We know by the time we get ready to retire, Social Security won't even exist. It's barely here now for the people that are retired now, okay? So we know that is out of the question for us, right? The second large entity that tried to fix it was corporations, right? So your job will say, we'll just fix it ourselves with 401ks and pensions and things like that on our own. We'll start our own benefit plans for our employees. Did that work? No. Nobody's even working at the same job until they retire. Nobody, some jobs aren't even offering it. Newsflash, it's a lot of jobs. I won't say any names, okay? But it's a lot of jobs that are not even offering offering 401ks anymore or pensions anymore. Pensions, because the 401k you can pay into it yourself, right? But they aren't providing any match. What they're saying is that instead of like if an employee makes like $100,000, then they'll pay them $106,000 so they can put up their own money into retirement, right? But then what is going to happen? Are they going to put up that extra 6 or 7% for them to retire? Absolutely not, because they're already living paycheck to paycheck, right? So that's just going to go to more expenses, more things that they won't be able to save up money for, because that's what happens is the more money we get, the more money we spend. Now, if this is you, okay, I don't want you to feel like I'm coming down on you. This is, like I said, a lot of Americans, right? 69% live paycheck to paycheck. It's a lot of us. And let me explain why. We all have 4 major challenges, okay? We have 4 major challenges that are very hard to overcome. So the first major challenge that we have is inflation, right? Now, inflation is what we call the silent income killer, okay? And why do we call it silent? We call it silent because nobody hears inflation, nobody sees inflation. Inflation just happens. And I'll prove it to you. When I was a kid, you could get a bag of potato chips for like 25 cents, okay? Hope I'm not telling my age. You get a bag of chips for 25 cents. Now that same bag is way smaller, okay? It's way smaller, and now it's like 35 cents or 30 cents. I think you get 3 for $1 or something like that. I think it's 35 cents or 3 for $1, something. I don't know. But the point is that it's more. Or another example that a lot of people can probably relate to, gas right now in Chicago, I can only use premium for my car. It was $3.77. And that's because I drove by the 2 gas stations that were charging $3.97 a gallon. Okay, now some of you on the line and on the Facebook Live, you probably remember when gas was like $2 or $1, right? So that's inflation. Inflation goes up, but the problem with inflation is that your money doesn't go up. Your salary cannot outpace inflation. So even if you get a raise on your job, it's not going to be more to keep up with the raised price of groceries, the raised price of gas, the raised price of everything, right? Because everybody is just trying to keep up. So you'll never make enough money to outpace inflation. Okay, so that's the first challenge that we have. That's challenge number 1. Now, challenge number 2 is what I was saying earlier as part of my specialty, right? Is taxes. Now, taxes is like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? Not even to be funny, but taxes literally kills your income. The thing that I do want to point out is like whatever financial guru you listen to, right? Dave Ramsey, Steve, whoever. Robert Kiyosaki, Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, right? They never address taxes. And I don't know, some people are really, really afraid of the IRS, and I get that. They say they don't want to mess with Uncle Sam. They are like, no, like I'm going to just pay my taxes and not even worry about it and stuff like that. But listen, taxes completely kills your income. If you make $100,000, right? And I'm just being nice because, the average, some people do, but the average income in America is $50,000. If you make $100,000, $30,000 goes to taxes. That's 30%, which means you only bring home $70,000. So you may be saying that you make $100,000 when you go to get a new house or a new apartment or a new car. Or anything, it may be furniture or anything. They ask you how much you make. You'll say, oh, I make $100,000, right? But you really don't make that $100,000 because you never see 30 of it, because Uncle Sam gets $30,000 of your money. So that's what I mean by it being the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You just never, ever see it, right? So now that's most of your money right there. So we have inflation is a problem, then taxes is a problem. The third problem, or the third objective that we have, is debt. Right now, debt is actually caused from taxes. And let me explain why. Because, like I said, if you make $100,000, you only bring home 70. But everywhere you go, they ask you, how much do you gross? How much do you gross, right? So you get your house based on you making $100,000. You get your car based on you making $100,000, but you only really make $70,000. So now you have $100,000 lifestyle, okay, but you really only have $70,000, right? So then what happens is you end up taking out debt. And you get credit cards and you put things on, on credit, you put things on payment plans. I couldn't believe on Wayfair.com or something else I was on too, but definitely Wayfair.com. I was on there the other day and they have like payment options for you. Now, some of the stuff can be pricey, but listen, when they have payment options for things like that, just don't even get it. You don't want to put payment options on a duvet or, a table and stuff like that, right? But that's what happens. That's part of the rat race that a lot of Americans are a part of, because you have $100,000 lifestyle, but you really only make $70,000, okay? And the last and definitely not least challenge that we face is just big business. Big business sets itself up for us to spend money every single month. Like, it's always a holiday. It's always some type of celebration. You feel bad if you don't participate. And I do know some people that maybe don't necessarily celebrate holidays, but your family celebrates holidays, so then you feel bad when you don't celebrate. So it's like we got Mother's Day, right? Mother's Day was this month. Next day is Father's Day. July, we got the 4th of July. August, now we got back to school. September is Labor Day. October is Halloween, right? Then November, we got Thanksgiving, but then we have Brown Wednesday, right? They came out with Brown Wednesday, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday. And then it's Christmas in December. Then it's New Year's, right? So then February, Valentine's Day. So, it goes on and on and on, where it's always something for you to spend your money on. Not even to mention that you have to live every day, right? You have to get to work. You have to have clothes. You have to have shoes, just the basic daily necessities that everybody needs. But big business really puts it in your face to where you feel bad when you don't participate in these different things. Okay, so that was the 4th objective. Now, where we come in and how we can help you all is our solutions that we have, and they've been helping people like literally all over the country, like I was saying before. And so we call it the 369 financial transformation, right? Because we really approach this thing strategically, like I mentioned on my post before, like strategy trumps sales, okay? Strategies trump sales. So when you are ready to start thinking like the wealthy, start addressing these issues, right? Just let me know, like, you're ready to start thinking like the wealthy. Let the person know that put you on the line. You are ready to start thinking like the wealthy. The wealthy people do not pay all this money in taxes. They don't shop every time big business comes out to make them shop, right? So for the 369 financial transformation, our 3 solutions. So the first one we have is our cash flow management. So we have, this is like literally, I told you guys I'm a certified public accountant. I have seen a lot of different softwares and a lot of different programs to help people with their money, budgeting, finances. This is definitely the best thing that I have ever seen. I even have my mom. I told you, like, I'm helping everybody. My mom is on, my brother, everybody. You put your information, it's called the cash flow strategist. So this is our very first this is the very first thing that we help you guys with. We help you minimize your taxes, okay? Because like we said, taxes is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? So imagine if instead of paying $300 a month or $300 a week, depending on how much you get paid to the government, if you could put that money and invest it, or you could use that money to get out of debt, right? Because the first thing that you want to do really is to get out of debt. A lot of people want to start investing, but if you're in any kind of debt, you want to get rid of that first. And the reason is your debt, the interest rate on your debt is not going to outpace the interest rate on your investment, the interest that you're earning on your investment is not going to be higher than the interest that they're charging you on your debt. So you want to get rid of that debt first, okay? So this is the cash flow management strategy that we have. So we help people eliminate their taxes. We stop the government from being able to take out all your money, right, and invest it in their name when you can be investing it in your name, right? We help you minimize any expenses that you have. You know, some people may have cable on like 3 different TVs, right? You may have, I know this is like a true story, you have cable on 3 different TVs, but you only watch one TV, okay? So it's like nobody's living in the house. Get rid of those extra 2 TVs, right? That cable. So we help people. We go through using the strategies and the strategies that we have to help you minimize your taxes and increase your cash flow, right? Then we help you filter it through a business. So businesses get taxed at a way lower percentage than a W-2. So W-2 workers get taxed anywhere from like 28 to 33%, depending on how much you make and stuff like that, right? Business income, if you have a business, you get taxed anywhere from like 18 to 23%. So we help you run your money through there. That's what we call the income shifting. You shift from a W-2, you shift through a business, and ultimately to become an investor. Now, if you think about with the W-2 workers, they take out the money right away, right? So you work, you get taxed, and then you get to spend. When you are a 1099, which is the business owner, which is what we help you guys become and help you all set up as a business owner, not only do you get taxed at a lower rate, but now you get to spend money before you get taxed, okay? So, and you all know, if anybody has ever gotten a 1099, you may be mad at the end of the year when you have to write a check. If you have to write a check. Now, if you're with us, then you probably don't have to write a check, right? Or your check is very, very minimal. But because that's what we do, we just show people how to legally and ethically lower their taxes, right? And these are the principles of the wealthy, the rules of the wealthy, why they don't pay a lot of money in taxes, okay? And we all know that. And I don't want to mention anybody's name and get everybody upset, but we all know it's somebody in DC in this White House that hasn't paid taxes in 18 years, okay? And we all know that this person is rich. Now, I'm not saying any names, but he is rich and he has not paid taxes in 18 years, okay? Because he studied and practiced the rules of the wealthy. It's nothing illegal or anything like that. And then last and definitely not least, we help people become investors, because anytime your money makes money, you get taxed at like 15%. Okay, so money will always get taxed at a lower rate. And I know that you guys, I can't hear you answering. Maybe you can respond on the Facebook Live. It's like, do you want to go to work, or do you want your money to work for you? Right? Of course you want your money to work for you. So that's what you want to do, and that's the whole goal. That's what we help people do. So instead of you paying all this interest, people can be paying you interest. You can be earning money. You get the dividends. You get the capital gains. And that's some of the stuff that we teach. And ultimately, the best investment that you can have is yourself. Okay, people always want to know where can they invest in? What can they do over here? What about this bond? What about this mutual fund? And stuff like that. But really, you want to invest in yourself, because you are your number one asset. The best thing that you can do is invest in yourself and invest for your own business, right? And start working for yourself, because nobody's going to work harder for you than you, okay? And the knowledge that you learn is literally cannot be replaced, right? So what we want to do, before we finish up, We normally, it used to cost $199 for you to get started in an opportunity like this. $199 and then $35 a month. But right now, the owners of the company wanted to make it more affordable for everybody and really just spread financial literacy across the world, right? And help everybody. Lowered it to a low, very low entry level fee of $35, $34.95, and then $34.95 on a monthly basis. It's like literally you can't beat that because you will get $20 in tax deductions every single day. Okay, take it from me. I already said I'm a CPA, right? So this is kind of what I do. Okay, taxes are like my thing. So when you are ready to start thinking like the wealthy, ready to stop overpaying your taxes, then go ahead, reach out to me. I did post my number. If somebody put you on the call, definitely reach out to the person that put you on the call. Get back with them. They can help you get started, help you start living your life like the wealthy and really saving up for your future and putting you on this financial transformation. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Hope you all had an amazing day and hope you were all able to take some really good notes. Okay, talk to you soon. Thanks for joining on Facebook too. Good night.